Quick question. What does $480 million sound like? To me, it sounds like a single note that filled stadiums, sold 230 million records, and built a stage in the desert that printed money. I'm Sarah Reed, and today on Golden American Legends, I'm breaking down Celine Dion's money and legacy in plain, clean numbers. Where did the fortune come from? What did she buy? And how will it likely pass on to her family? Let's make the big numbers feel simple. Here's the hook. 2 albums over 30 million copies each. That's rarer than a perfect game in baseball. Add a Titanic-sized single that paid out for decades, and then, boom, Las Vegas, where one artist turned a residency into a machine that grossed more than many global tours combined. If you like charts, context, and a little pop history spice, you're in the right place. As we go, I'll share my take on why her strategy worked and how it stacks up against icons like Madonna and Beyoncé. And I want your take too. What would you do with $480 million? Be honest. Pocket calculator ready? Let's rewind to the moment a teen from Quebec started writing checks with her voice that the world happily cashed. I didn't realize this until I dug in. Celine's money story starts with momentum, not millions. First, Eurovision 1988, she won it for Switzerland, which sounds odd until you see the result, instant international visibility. Then, that 1991 Beauty and the Beast duet, Disney Magic meets a rising star. Those 2 beats opened doors, big label deals, real marketing, and royalties that actually scale. Now the jaw dropper. Celine Dion has sold over 230 million records worldwide. That's elite, full stop. 2 English-language albums, Falling Into You, 1996, and Let's Talk About Love, 1997, each crossed 30 million. She's the first female artist with 2 albums at that level. In the Francophone world, her French albums like Deux are record holders too. When you sell like that in both English and French, your royalty checks come in 2 languages. Let's translate sales to money the simple way. If a $10 CD once yielded even a few dollars to the artist and team, multiply a few by hundreds of millions of units. You're looking at billions in gross industry revenue, and over time, tens and tens of millions to the artist after cuts. Add monster singles. My Heart Will Go On went diamond in the US, and Titanic's soundtrack sold around 30 million. Performance and mechanical royalties keep dripping for decades. That steady drip becomes a river. And yet, her biggest payday didn't come from plastic discs. It came from a theater carved into the Las Vegas Strip. Ready to see the turbo boost? Here's my hot take. Celine didn't just do a residency. She rebranded Vegas for modern pop titans. Caesar's Palace, the Colosseum. 2 residencies, A New Day, 2000-2007, and Celine, 2011-2019. Combined gross, $681.3 million from 141 performances, with over 4.5 million tickets sold. Let me say that again, $681 million. That's not a side gig, that's an empire with great parking. Why is this such a money move? Touring is expensive. Trucks, travel, crews, promoters, fatigue. Vegas flips the math. 1 stage, optimized production, fans come to you. Average ticket price around $149 across those runs, night after night. Even when her world tours did well, think tens of millions, Vegas delivered consistent, stacked years of revenue with lower costs and higher control. It's like choosing a cash-flowing apartment building over flipping houses. This strategy also future-proofed her schedule. Some years, she mixed a residency block with an international run, maximizing exposure and income. That's how Forbes kept putting her on highest-paid lists during those years. And it's why so many stars followed her blueprint. Vegas used to be the after-party of a career. After Celine, it became the main event. With all that money coming in, the next question is obvious. Where did it go, and what did she build with it? Confession. I love looking at how artists turn income into assets. Celine played it like a pro. Real estate first. Over the years, she held luxury properties in California, Florida, Canada, and a Las Vegas villa. One Bel Air estate was famously listed around $72 million at one point, and she later sold Los Angeles property for a headline price. Waterfront in Florida, roots in Quebec, these aren't just pretty backdrops, they're major chunks of net worth. She also put money into hospitality, restaurants and nightclubs, especially logical with a Vegas footprint. And she extended the brand into consumer goods with Celine Dion Beauty, perfume and cosmetics. Not every venture reveals its numbers, but the strategy is clear. Diversify beyond the mic. Now, no fortune is friction-free. She's reported to have lost around $13 million in the Bernie Madoff scheme. A reminder that even the most careful investors can get caught in market storms. Plus, lifestyle and operations matter. Big homes, staff, wardrobes, travel, taxes. Still, with hundreds of millions earned, those costs are manageable when you've set up long-term assets. And an important heartbeat in her portfolio: philanthropy. Her Mom and Dion Foundation and regular donations to hospitals and education show a through line: family and care. Money can shout, but here it speaks softly. So how do you keep a fortune like this sturdy for decades? You plan like a CEO. I have a simple rule for celebrity fortunes: making it is one story, keeping it is another. Celine's playbook checks the big boxes. First, residency and tax strategy. By basing herself in Nevada, no state income tax, she kept more of every show dollar than she would in high-tax states. That alone can mean millions saved each year. Second, structure. For years, she and her late husband, René Angelil, worked with professional managers, trusts, LLCs, diversified investments. These are the quiet tools that reduce risk, protect privacy, and smooth out cash flow between album cycles and touring gaps. Forbes and business profiles point to significant assets held in trusts and investments, which is exactly what I'd expect at this level. Lifestyle-wise, yes, it's deluxe, multiple homes, family travel, couture moments, but compared to the scale of her earnings, it's proportional. And there's balance. She often emphasizes family time and has steadily funded charitable causes. That mix, discipline, generosity, and smart geography, is how you turn peak earning years into a lasting foundation. Recently, she stepped back from performing. I won't speculate beyond what's public, but pauses happen. The good news: a catalog this strong and a structure this solid keep income flowing. Next up, let's talk legacy. Who likely inherits, how it's usually set up, and where Celine's $500 million fits among music's biggest names. Okay, legacy time, the part that turns numbers into a story about tomorrow. Celine has 3 children, Renee, Charles, and twins Nelson and Eddie. Standard practice at this level is clear. Establish trust so kids are provided for in stages, with guardianship and professional oversight until they're adults. With René Angelil's passing in 2016, it's widely understood the plan is family first, with room for the causes she cares about, like her foundation and medical and educational charities. That's how you honor a life's work without creating chaos. How does her fortune stack up? As of 2023, reputable estimates place Celine around $480 million. That puts her in the top tier of solo vocalists. For perspective, Madonna is often cited around $850 million, Beyoncé around $500 million, Rihanna, with her businesses, even higher. Icons like Whitney Houston were closer to $250 million at passing, and Aretha Franklin far less. Rock dynasties, Beatles, Stones, can hit the billion range, but for a solo pop vocalist, Celine's number is elite. My takeaway: Celine's money isn't a fluke. It's the compounding of cross-language record sales, one of the most successful residencies in history, smart tax geography, and steady diversification. In a chart, you'd see 3 pillars: records, residencies, real estate, stacked tall. And when those assets pass on, they'll likely do it cleanly, unlike the messy estates we've seen with Prince or Aretha. It's a masterclass in building and preserving a legacy. Before we wrap, I want to hear from you. Which move do you think was the real game changer? The 230 million albums or Vegas? Drop your pick in the comments. So that's Celine Dion's money and legacy, reframed. From a shy powerhouse out of Quebec to a $500 million empire with a clean plan for the future. Records built the foundation. Vegas built the tower. Smart planning locked the doors. I'm Sarah Reed, and this is Golden American Legends, where we turn pop history into clear, useful stories. If you learned something today, give this a like so the algorithm knows to send more legends your way. And if you want more breakdowns, Elvis's estate, Madonna's investment map, Rihanna's business flywheel, hit subscribe and ring that bell. We're building a library here on Golden American Legends, and you're part of it. Thanks for watching, truly. Until next time, keep the music loud and the numbers honest.